I think Nikon might have just done something really special here. I spent the last 4 days shooting with the new Nikon ZR, and honestly, I'm blown away with more than I originally expected. From the image quality, to the stabilization, to how well it handles the rain. This little camera might just be one of Nikon's smartest moves yet. Let me first explain why. I got the ZR, as I believe it was one of the first in the UK, so I got it last Friday. Most of my testing was specifically handheld, and then the second session was on the gimbal. Haven't done much talking head related stuff, podcast or tripod work, and my cage has not arrived yet. So everything that I share specifically on this video is of course of me using the bare camera rather than it having it rigged out as a whole. Image quality and dynamic range. First things first, the image quality, I'm generally very impressed. The dynamic range is really strong, highlights and shadows hold plenty of detail, and the overall look would be what you would expect from a cinema camera that I was hoping for. There's also a couple of different features as well, like when you flip the screen to face to do A-roll in Pacific. You can, it auto triggers the self-timing Pacific look of the camera, and then also like it changes like whether you can toggle the menu. I'm not 100% sure how, like I get why that feature's there, and some of the features I really like the ability to toggle the self-timer. There's a 2-second and a 10-second for when you have the main 4-inch screen facing you as a whole. Of course, shooting in Red RAW takes everything even further. Massive flexibility in post-production, so even if your exposure isn't quite perfect in shoot, you can fix it later on without a problem. However, the files are heavy, yes, but the quality you also get back, it's absolutely worth it. But there is some caveats that I would specifically consider. That is going to be specifically around the fact that you are going to need a Type B CFexpress card. These are going to be more expensive than you would specifically think. I'm looking at potentially picking up a 4TB one that's like $1,000 for the card on its own. The ones I'm currently using, I own one Pro Grade card and one Lexar card as well. I'm mostly using the Lexar on the Nikon ZR as a whole, and I've had no issues filming in Red RAW equivalent as a whole to have that flexibility, and it's something that I always try to do wherever possible. And the stills are also surprisingly good, sharp, balanced and color accurate, very much in line with Nikon's top Z bodies, as a lot of the tech from this camera has come from the Z8 and the Z9. Shooting in the Red RAW format. Now, as I said before, there is a quick warning that I will have to give you. The actual data rate is a Pacific monster, and is something that you need to understand if you are going to shoot on this camera in Red RAW on a 512 gigabyte CFexpress Type B card. You'll get just under an hour of footage, so that's fine for short content shoots or promotional videos, but for full day shoots you'll need larger cards, specifically as I said earlier, focusing on probably the 4 to 2 terabyte models in the next couple of months as well. But of course, the trade-off is a massive flexibility and a cinematic quality in regards to color grade, but you do exchange that for huge file sizes as a whole. So if you need, you don't need that much control, and you can actually get the exposure pretty close, if not really close, when you actually shoot it, then I'd recommend maybe stopping down to the 5.3 H.265, which is what I use on, or have used previously on the Z6 Mark III. In terms of value for money, this camera for just the body only is around £2,000 or so. I think actually the ZR represent a really solid value proposition, because you're getting Red RAW recording, inbuilt body image stabilization, 32-bit float audio, and of course pro level images across a compact form factor. I was mostly surprised when I unboxed this video that the camera was specifically very small. Sure, once you factor in the cards and accessories, the costs do rise, but when you compare it to other as capable bits of kit, you're looking at a higher growth or higher overall cost as a whole, and it's something that you can specifically add into as you build out your kit. So, you know, I'm already planning to buy better cards, etc., for the Red use case as I use Red more and more. Design, handling and build. The camera itself feels great in the hand. It's compact, well balanced and performs beautifully on the gimbal, especially when using a 24-70 Mark II, because it is designed to be balanced properly, because that lens will not telescope out. The build quality feels premium and professional and ready for work. The 4-inch rear screen deserves a special mention. It's bright, it's sharp, and it's colour accurate. And honestly, it's the nicest screen I've used in this class, and it would replace, in my opinion, a standalone or an external monitor. Now, yes, there is no built-in EVF, so that does kind of leave out some wants. So for wildlife specifically, I would be using my Z6 Mark III unless I specifically want to shoot in Red RAW or use an external EVF. But I get why Nikon left it out. Keeps the camera smaller and helps manage heat. That said, I do miss having the extra point of contact when shooting handheld, as it adds a level of stabilization. If Nikon does release an EVF through the hot shoe, then of course that will be a upgrade path that you can look to as well. Once my cage and rig arrives, I expect handling this camera will be even better, and you'll be able to rig it for longer sessions and also handheld sessions as well. The in-body image stabilization is another strong suit when it comes to this camera, and I was genuinely surprised with how well it performed, especially regarding handheld work on such a small, compact camera. For a compact cinema-capable camera, this level of IBIS is a huge win, and is, to be honest, something I think that more manufacturers should be looking to add into their systems, especially if they're looking for a more compact or crash-style camera to be used in the field moving forward. Autofocus, this isn't something you would necessarily see in a camera of this caliber in regards to cinema, but the autofocus has been solid overall, fast, responsive, and mostly accurate. The only time it specifically trips up is doing reveal shots, where it will occasionally jump to the foreground instead of staying on infinity, but that's something that you can, of course, fine-tune within the settings, and I wouldn't worry too much about as a whole, because if you do need and do require that, then you can just switch it into manual focus, and then it will lock that specific focus as a whole. So it wouldn't be something I worry about too much, but it's something to be aware of. Audio, the built-in microphones are actually really powerful, as would be expected, because we've got a lot of tech in this camera, which I wasn't actually expecting, to be honest. They're clean, they're really usable for ambient and scratch audio. With the 32-bit float, they're very unlikely to clip, and it's incredibly useful for quick setups and run and gun work. Of course, for professional use, you will want an external audio source or running into a recorder, etc. But for reference audio, it's incredibly well. And also, even having that 32-bit to bring it in to camera so it's all synced up as well. If you are using a lavalier microphones, then I personally think that's going to be incredibly useful and something that I look forward to testing more. Weather and durability. Whilst out over the last couple of days, there has been a few bits of rain, nothing heavy, just drizzle, and the camera handled it without an issue. To be honest, at this professional price point, you shouldn't be worried about light rain, and I don't think I would as well. So personally, for me, all of my cameras I expect to really handle a level of water. Now, of course, obviously, this is not, you're not going about dunking it in the ocean or dunking it into a river. So it's mostly around what I would call natural use in the world. So normal outdoor conditions, it's perfectly capable. It's solid. I'm not really worried about the camera as a whole. If it's a really strong rainstorm and for whatever reason I do need to film, then of course I can cover the camera in that respect as well. And please don't drop your camera in rivers or etc., because of course the manufacturer is not going to rate it for that. Final thoughts. Overall, I'm really impressed with this little camera. The Nikon ZR gives a beautiful image quality, flexible recording options, strong stabilization and pro uses in a small accessible package. Yes, Red RAW eats through storage. Yes, I would love to see an EVF option, but the positives, in my opinion, do outweigh the compromises. The screen is fantastic. The image stabilization is excellent, and the audio is better than I expected. This inspires specifically built with confidence, and I personally believe that it's going to be an incredible use case, seeing what other people can use this camera to create, of course, as well. Once my full rig arrives, I'll be testing out it on more tripod work, also more updated handheld, and I'll be doing updated rig tours, etc. So if you would like to see more like that, then make sure to be subscribed to the channel. YouTube believes you enjoy this video. It's probably the Nikon unboxing or something equivalent like that. So thank you ever so much for coming back and joining me. If you did enjoy and you would like to see more like it, then make sure to be subscribed. And as I say, YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video, and I'll see you very, very soon.